Wearables have been gaining popularity over the past couple years, and Samsung was among the first to try it out. They've had their hits and their misses, but with the new Gear S2, they've created something truly awesome. I'm Ben with iTech Triad, and this is our video review of the Samsung Gear S2 Classic. The Gear S2 Classic is the premium version of the Gear S2. It has a swappable watch bands and, more notably, ridged bezels. Now this helps the watch look more, well, like a normal watch, and personally I love it. The watch is fairly small, but it looks good on pretty much any wrist. I wouldn't say that it's a watch that feels premium, but it feels pretty good. Now let's talk about the star of the show, the rotating bezel. Now as with almost any smartwatch, the Gear S2 Classic has a touchscreen, but you probably won't use it all that often because you're going to be using the bezel to navigate through the operating system. Now this method of input is not only extremely easy to learn, but it also just makes total sense. Turn the bezel over one click and you just moved over one screen. It's fast, and again, it just makes sense, especially on a screen this small. Now powering the watch is Samsung's own Tizen operating system, and it works brilliantly on this form factor. You can tell Samsung really took the time to perfect the details of this OS. In the few weeks that I spent with the Gear S2 Classic, I actually came to prefer Tizen over Android Wear in most situations, and that's something I never thought I would say. Now of course the Gear S2 is not perfect. I did have some connection issues with my Nexus 6P and with the Droid Turbo 2, both of which I tested it with. Now on the bright side, I can actually say that I am able to use it with both those devices. Unlike most older Samsung wearables, which only worked with their own hardware, the Gear S2 works with any Android smartphone so long as it's running Android KitKat and up, with at least 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. Now as with any smartwatch, battery life is always a concern, but I'm more than happy to say that the Gear S2 Classic delivers. Most of the time I can get through a day well before the watch has even lost a quarter of its battery, although I have had a couple times where it just completely freaked out on me and died before the end of the day. Now luckily the watch does include Qi wireless charging, and it charges very quickly through its included magnetic charging dock, but of course you can charge it with any Qi wireless charger. So at the end of the day, is the Samsung Gear S2 Classic worth buying? Short answer, yes. If you're not using Samsung hardware, I would recommend taking a look at some Android Wear devices, as they might work a little bit better with your device. But if you do buy the Gear S2, you will not be disappointed. I do, however, recommend forking over the extra $50 to get the Classic model rather than the standard, if not only for the addition of being able to replace that band with a standard band rather than a proprietary one. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more videos just like this coming soon. Huge shout out to our friends at Gadgtspot for letting us borrow their Gear S2 Classic for this review. Go ahead and check out their channel. There's also a link in the description. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the Gear S2 Classic, be sure to check out our written review, which is also linked down below. Now as always, a huge thank you for watching this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.